Welcome to Mediocre Gaming, and today we're playing Hogwarts Legacy. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Zero. Let's get to it. So today we're dealing with Centaurs and Snidgets, but before we get to that, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and ring that bell to be notified of all future episodes as soon as they go live. So let's get into it. So previously, or I should say previously, we met Poppy in Beast class, and she introduced us to our first Hippogriff, Highwing, and then we were accepted by Highwing, and then we helped Highwing out of a sticky situation. Poppy is very high into animal activism. Magical creature activism, I should say. She's helped hippogriffs and Kneazles and dragons, and very much a pro magical creature kind of wizard. So now we found out that the poachers have a lead on Snidgets, which were thought to be completely extinct, and we talked to a centaur about it. Somewhat unwillingly gave us a direction to go into. The centaur, Doran, said, you're going to want to get the moonstone and then bring it back to the henge in the Forbidden Forest. Well, there's moonstone all over the place, but he was talking about one specific one in a cave. Moonstone in a cave, and one particular one, and Poppy thought she had a lead on it, went through the library, figured out that this cave was likely to be it. However, this cave is kind of forbidden in and of itself because nobody has come into it and come out without losing their sanity. So we're kind of in a tough spot. It's very tenuous. We're going into some unknown danger. We don't know. There's not been any accounts, not that are coherent, obviously. And so we're going into an unknown danger. We know it's dangerous, but we don't know what the danger is. So is it exaggerated? Potentially, but maybe not. Maybe it's really dangerous to all people, or maybe just wizards. It doesn't really matter. But we have to go in here because it's the only lead we have to finding this particular moonstone that Doran was talking about. Now, when you're talking about any type of cavern or catacomb, you're talking about puzzles and fights. We already saw Dugbog, which have become incredibly aggressive for some reason. And then, of course, puzzles for getting like that legendary chest. Look at that. That's not something you see in a cavern very often. Foopers. Gazoomite. No, Foopers. Fooper song is reported to drive people mad, which is maybe where the legend of the cave came from. So hopefully it's not as dangerous. It's just that there's Foopers in the cave, which have that notoriety or infamy, as the case may be. So using Revelio, see what's behind these drawer pulls. Some tiny acromantulas, but they're not even old enough to attack or old enough to be aggressive towards wizards. Look at this. Okay, so we've actually seen this before. Each door has 2 symbols on it, and each pole has 1 symbol below it. So you got to find the pole with each of the 2 symbols of the door that you want to open. And we're going to open all of them because that's just what we do. Even if it means there's a enemy behind the door, we're going to open it anyway because Revelio only shows you so much. And there could be a passageway or a magical moth behind it.
Why am I not surprised?
All right, so what do we have left? Is that all of them? Nope, we've got one more. I think one more. There we go. And there's a couple piles of galleons, 43 galleons out of it. Alright, so we opened some doors. We're going to get these moths set. There's one. There's one more moth statue. Oh, and some more galleons. It's when you just want Revelio on auto cast so you can just not miss out on anything. Alright, so we need the pulso. There we go. See the bars going up, being retracted, and then and the wings on the statue go down, which means it's locked into place, which is good. Alright, so another puzzle. Couple more moth statues. We can reuse these moths from the previous moth statues for these other statues. There we go. And we'll take a look and see which one does what. So I guess we'll start with this one. That brings up a moth pot. I don't know what else to call it. It's got a moth on it though. Alright, and then we've got a pathway, but the moth went down, so now we grab the moth, put it on the door. We need 2 more. Well, we just happen to have 2. I'm a little worried if I take the one that the pathway is going to drop. This one drops, but we don't need it, so it's not a big deal. I almost thought the moth didn't come with me. Alright, so I think we're okay. Hopefully if I grab this one, the path doesn't go down, or if it does, we can run across real quick. Okay, it's locked in place. Don't have to worry about it. Alright. 3 magic moths to open 1 magic door. Oop. A couple more Dug Bogs. Yeah, I just don't encounter these guys enough to have the right spell setup, so I generally just ding them with the Blasting Curse, Confringo, or just basic magic, or even toss stuff or ancient magic. They're not particularly dangerous because they're not that quick. But they're fast enough if you're not paying close attention. And 2 of them, obviously you got to keep your eyes on both of them. Alright, so the whole reason to go in here is to look for that moonstone to figure out where the snidgets are. I need the moonstone and take it to the henge, and then from there we don't know. But the centaur adorns very spoke very centaur-ish
Should we
to
take a
us,
closer look?
which is not very non-specific. Not telling us why or what that'll give us. Just do the thing if you want to get to the snidgets. Prove your worth, kind of thing. Can't do any spells while we're swimming, so do a Revelio so we can at least see if there's anything that we need to pay attention to. Now look at that.
It's got to be here.
Opens up. The cavern opens up, and there's enough light to support vegetation and trees underneath. I don't know if this is too deep to walk through, but we'll take care of these things so at least we can get through there. Oh, looks like it's shallow. Alright.
I don't know. I've been listening to them for a while now, and I'm starting to lose my mind.
Very funny.
The Fooper song. Enough to drive anyone bonkers. Alright, so we just need to prune some of the weeds here and basically kind of a concentric circle. Goes around and around and closer, ever closer to the center. There we go. I think this is it. There's the moonstone. Yeah, that doesn't look like any moonstone that I've picked up. The rest of them are all fragments compared to that. This is more of a moon orb. Or orb of moonstone. Alright. Good job, Poppy. You picked the right cave after all.
We should do as Doran suggested and bring the moonstone to the henge.
Alright, let's go to the henge and
Shall we?
pop that moonstone in and see what happens. Alright, back to the Forbidden Forest. At the henge. No centaurs to be seen. And now we've got the moonstone. Hopefully it's not dangerous. And hopefully it's going to help us find the snidgets. So if snidgets haven't been extinct the whole time, where could they possibly be that they wouldn't be like going in and out?
We're nearly at the end of this.
Where people could track them down? That's my question. Alright, we gotta go down to go over.
How's your Gran doing, by the way?
Nothing keeps Gran down. She set up a caterwauling.
Nothing keeps Gran down.
I still feel terrible that I'm
Threaten the poachers. That sounds like something an old person might do. Cantankerous. Don't mess with me. Alright. I guess this is the henge.
We can safely say we know where the moonstone goes.
Yeah, we know where the moonstone goes. Let's see what happens.
Whoa!
Oh. That was was a mooncalf dance. Do you know how rare it is to see even one? They only ever happen under a full moon. Though I suppose the moonstone allowed it to happen now.
Is the pattern they left behind on the ground normal?
All part of the dance. No one pattern is ever the same, though. We'll need to draw this one to get a better sense of it. Can't wait to tell Gran that I've managed to see not one, but 2 mooncalf dances. She'll be jealous.
You've seen this before?
It was pure luck the first time. I was on Highwing, or I'd never have spotted it. It was the night Well, the night I met Highwing, actually,
I'd love to hear about how you and Highwing met.
I'd actually like you to know. About 5 years ago, Highwing had been captured by poachers. At first, they planned to sell her, but soon decided they wanted to kill her instead. More money, I suppose. I'd finally had enough. I freed Highwing and we ran. We'd flown for ages when I spotted mooncalves dancing below and we landed to watch them. It felt like an omen, a good one, a sign that the worst was over.
What do you mean you'd had enough and the worst was over?
You see, the night I freed Highwing was also the night I ran away from home. A poacher camp. I come from a family of poachers.
Merlin? I don't know what to say, Poppy. I can't imagine what that must have been like for you.
I never fitted in, but the older I got, the more apparent it became. Gran tried for years to convince my parents to let me live with her. Suffice it to say, when I left with Highwing, I flew straight for her house.
How brave. I'm glad you escaped.
So am I. There were so many creatures I was unable to help when I was younger. Now that's all I want to do.
From everything I've seen, you're doing precisely that.
I've had a bit of help. I've never told anyone any of this, but I'm glad that you know. It's nice to have someone to talk about it with.
What was it like growing up in a family of poachers?
The thing I remember most was how much we moved around, always chasing the next big kill. It was chaotic and dangerous and nowhere a child should ever grow up.
Do your parents know about the things you do now? Saving that dragon from the fighting ring, for instance.
We don't speak, or rather, they don't speak to me. Last I heard, they were in Borneo trying to make their fortunes there. Acromantulas. However, I wouldn't be surprised if word has got back to them. Some days a part of me hopes that it has. Now that I'm older, I wish I could talk to them, get them to see sense. But sadly, I suspect that wouldn't do any good.
We were around so many poachers in the tent. Were you not worried about being recognized?
Poachers are nomadic, and most of the ones in the area aren't any I'd grown up with. That said, I suspect someone must have recognized me. That's how they got to Gran.
I'm glad you told me.
We should get back to Doran. He'll need to see the symbol, and we've got poachers to beat. If you collect the moonstone, I can make a quick drawing of the symbol for Doran.
Are you finished with the drawing?
Just barely. I think the pattern's a bird. At least that's what it looks like.
Didn't the journal say the key to finding the snidget lies in the moonlight?
Of course. That's it. We need to show this to Doran. Not that I'd know where to find him at this hour. Perhaps we should head back to the castle and we can track him down after a good night's sleep.
Agreed. I'm ready to leave if you are.
So that
It's
was
good
pretty
to see you
cool.
again, Doran.
Pretty rare
Did
event
Poppy
to
tell you
see
about everything that's
the
happened?
moon
She
calves
did.
dancing in the
I'm glad
moonlight.
to see that you are both
Apparently the
safe
moonstone
and
just
I
aided
didn't
in that
question the
effect.
wisdom of sending you on a path at a time when that path was unknown.
So
at
Poppy's
best,
seen him dance
deadly at worst.
by accident
But the acumen
once,
of the centaurs
and now twice. We've got to
neither
see it once.
personal nor partial. The skies tell
The
us
skies tell
what
us
is to
what
come,
is to come.
and often we do not know.
We
what
don't
we have
necessarily
seen
know until it's come to pass.
until it has come to pass.
You knew the
Yeah, I'm trying to
poachers
remember
would
what
kill
the
Poppy
centaur's
I
name
do
that
not know,
was
my young friend,
teaching
but I shall say that I was
divination
not surprised. It was
vis-a-vis
in much the same
to
manner
Professor
that I
Trelawney in the
expected our
books.
first meeting.
There was one
I don't
centaur,
suppose you'd like to start from the beginning. I think Poppy and I could
and he
use
always
that.
kind of looked
Of
to
course.
the sky
I
and
find
tried
it
to
is
teach
often
the
the best place to
students
start, is it not?
because
Many
he
moons
was
ago, I divined a
ostracized
series of
from the
events.
herd, and I think
Their
Dumbledore was
meaning
just
long
trying to help him
evaded
out.
me, until you brought news of the Snidgets and their poacher pursuers. I
Now,
believe
Dorn
the symbol created by the
saw
Mooncalves
a
dance marks the
cascade of
place
events
the Snidgets are
long
hidden.
ago
And serendipitously, I
that he
believe
had
that I
no
know the very
idea
place.
what it was
Please, go
about
on.
I
until
have seen
we
that symbol
started
only once, on a rock face in the
this
cliffs of the
whole
forest. You should make
poacher
haste
arc.
now. The Snidgets that have
And
been
then-
kept there for so many years
And
may no
he even
longer
said,
be
he was
safe.
like, can it be?
You said you
So-
defined a series of events before our paths crossed.
Yeah, what were the
What were they?
I saw the
series of
arrival
events?
stranger, the
Arrival
threat
of a
an
stranger, threat of an
and the
enemy,
return
return
of
of an old friend.
I believe now
Oh,
that
so the
you
Snidget's
are
an
the
old friend
strangers.
of the
poachers
Centaurs?
are the enemy,
I suppose.
and the old friends are the Snidgets.
No, that's what he's saying.
I also saw two places tied to these events. The cave with the moonstone and the henge. The latter was bathed in moonlight.
Interesting.
What makes you so sure the symbol is where the Snidgets are?
I do not know. It is what I have read in the stars. Fortunes play out as they are intended. I am merely a messenger.
So he
I
reads
shall
the
say
message
that
as
fortune
a
favors
messenger.
us
He doesn't
today.
write the message.
That you would show me a symbol whose provenance I
Fortune
recognize
favors
is
us.
not coincidence, but fate.
Ah. So it's a symbol that he understands.
If you're right about this place, then we should make our way there.
Yep.
I
Let's
shall
make
see
our
you
way
there.
there.
I got
All
here
right.
as soon as I could.
Did you see the symbol
Whew.
above the entrance?
That was a long trek.
It's the one the Mooncalves made at the henge. Of course, Doran implied
All
as
right,
much,
so we're
but to see it up there.
in the right
Could
spot.
this actually be where the Snidgets are hidden?
Let's find out.
The
Doran's waiting
Mooncalves
for us just
symbol
up
that they drew
I'm
during
ready
their
if you are.
dance is over
Can you believe it?
the gateway
Actual
here. There it is.
Snidgets. I'm glad we seem to be a step ahead of the poachers.
It is a little strange we haven't heard anything from them.
A
If
bird,
we're lucky,
flying
they're
bird,
still poring over ground
um,
to search. But
possibly
what we
supposed to be a
found out,
snidget,
we, on the other hand, had Doran
but
to
certainly
guide
you can
us.
tell that it's a
Even if
bird
the poachers do
if
somehow
you
stumble
look
upon this
closely
place,
enough.
we should be long gone.
So the feeling here, oh, there's a Kneasel den here. I saw a shiny one. There it is. Come here, you shiny little Kneasel. Yeah, sometimes in a camp of 4 to 6, there's one shiny. Sometimes there's 2. Sometimes there's 0. So if there's one there, you always want to
Greetings.
grab
I hope we
it
haven't kept you waiting long, Doran.
Not at all.
to add to your
Then
your
again,
shiny
it is not I who
beast
awaits your
collection.
arrival. Do you have the moonstone with you?
We
I always
do.
kind of looked at it as
It is
exceptional
important to what
exceptional.
happens next, as both of you are.
or rare.
So what does happen next? What are these pillars here?
A safeguard, I suspect.
Alright, so
There is
I've
only
actually
one way
been
to
here
find
before,
out.
but not with the
As for
moonstone.
how to go about that, the two of
I don't
you
remember
may
why.
know better
I don't
than
remember if it had to do with another quest or if I just happened to be gallivanting through the countryside and happened across this area. I was like, oh, that's interesting. What's this all about? But these pillars won't move until you have the moonstone. Now, if you notice, it's like a clock. There's actually little hands on the interior that move dependently on the pillars. There, you see it opposite of where the pillar is. So what we're going to do is point it to the 2 symbols that are lit up on the door. So that's one of them. Now we just need to get the other one And there you go, you see it. But we gotta go all the way around because it's way over there. We're basically halfway. We should have gone the other way, but that's okay. This makes it a little bit easier to see. You can see it moving around. It only goes so fast. And it's coming. It's almost there, and there we go. And then look at the door. And there it goes. It's open.
I suspect we all know what lies beyond that passage. And now
That's a pretty cool way to open.
at least for a time.
Alright, so Doran's leaving.
If the Snidgets are here, the herd will want
The herd will want to see the truth for it themselves, especially the current leader,
Go on with
Alec.
it. I will rejoin as soon as
So
I
we'll have to go ahead. They might show up in the nick of time. Hopefully. Hopefully in the nick of time. If it comes to that. Alright. So here we are. There's a lot of
Look at the murals on the wall.
cages for being a sanctuary.
Protect them. They had nothing to fear.
What makes you say that?
The poacher camps always felt oppressive.
Poacher camps always felt oppressive.
The feeling was palpable.
And this doesn't
At
have
least to
that,
me. The
apparently.
sense I get here is of safety and
So-
calm. Quite
so
the
a
opposite
sanctuary.
of poacher camps.
Alright, so
So
let's grab the thing that's up there. Oop. There we go. I was going to say, we better be able to jump up there. A few galleons. And there we go. Taxidermy. Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't really speak sanctuary to me. Alright, big old tree with a hollow underneath. Lots of things to blow up to get out of our way. Some hedges to prune. Chests to get.
I'll wager this
Alright,
isn't
so
the
this
dead
must
end
be
it
the way
seems to be.
forward.
But how to get through?
Although it looks like a dead end. So let's head back and take that other path to the side, and yeah, there's some devil's snare. That fire only pushes it back a little bit. We're gonna need light. There we go. All for one galleon.
Whoever built this place certainly liked to read.
And the books are all about creatures.
Your
Whole
gran
bunch of
would
books
love
about
it.
creatures.
She would. I can't wait to tell her all about it.
So like Birds Unlimited or World Wildlife Federation kind of place. Alright, so let's go ahead and climb up here. I thought there was at least one thing up here. Couple galleons. Need these cubes, put them on the respective plates, and then to activate them with the right spell. So that one was fire. I need one more, which I am pretty sure is up here see if there's anything up here in addition. At least one thing. A couple more galleons. Never hurts. At least until you've got more galleons than you know what to do with. Sometimes I wish you could sell the plants that you grow in your pots, in the room of requirement or in the greenhouse. There we go. Doors are open and we're ready to go forward.
How clever.
I don't think it matters what door we go through. They all look like the same place. Now there's some birds just sitting on the floor. Uh-oh.
What was that?
Dark wizards.
Not Doran, that's for certain.
Poachers found us. Let's get our spells set up since we were moving things around. And some ancient magic. And now we've got no reserves of ancient magic. That combo finisher is brutal. Hey, backup's here just in time. I suppose. Oop, yep. More poachers inbound. There we go. Getting pinged in the back. Just a little bit too slow. You realize you're hitting a shield and you say, oh yeah, you've got a shield on. Now if you don't like, or you didn't learn, since you have the option of learning the dark magic or unforgivable curses or not, you can always replace the spells that you see that I am using with blasting curves or disarming or whatever, and you can have a red, a yellow, and a purple for the different shields that you're going to see on these guys. And of course you can always use potions or
I had hoped to return before it was too late.
chomping cabbage or venomous tentacula, mandrakes, etc. Alright, so they helped us out. And now Alec is behind Doran, whereas before they had a lot of conflict between them. Maybe because of what he saw or because of something else. Alright, so now to open the door. The moon and the sun. And see what's inside. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check us out on social media. And thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And we'll see you next time.
There they are. Now, all that remains is to break the charm.
You want us to... I only ever wanted to see them safe, which they are. You should do it. Merlin, they're lovely. But what happens now? They can't care for themselves, and surely once word gets out of their reappearance...
No harm will come to them. The Centaurs will see to that. You have my word.
Thank you, Doran, for helping us to find them and to fight for them.
It is you who deserves the merit, child. You did what the poachers would never have. Remember that. You both fought bravely today. Allow us to carry the mantle from here.
If it's all right, Doran, I think I'd like to stay behind and spend a little more time with the Snidgets.
I see Doran finally convinced you to leave the Snidgets.
If anyone can keep them out of poacher hands, it's the Centaurs. And I wanted to thank you. When the poachers ambushed us, it was nice not to face them alone.
Of course. It's the sort of thing friends do for each other, isn't it?
I suppose so. I am glad you came to Hogwarts. It's already been my best year. I wouldn't want a repeat of Horntail Hall, of course, but I did enjoy the Three Broomsticks. Had no idea how lovely it was there.
Had you never been to the Three Broomsticks?
I used to spend most of my time with Highwing, and well, I don't know how Serona feels about hippogriffs popping in for a butterbeer. Highwing's the only one I would have gone with. Or Gran, of course.
Highwing is nice company, but perhaps it's time to add a few more friends to your circle.
I am starting to see the appeal of human friends. It was nice to talk about my parents and Gran with someone, and share Highwing.
I don't suppose you've heard anything from your parents, have you?
I haven't, but I'm perfectly fine with that.
Does your Gran know that we found the Snidgets?
I couldn't hold it in any longer. I told her everything. She was livid that I'd been anywhere near the poachers, but she confessed that she was rather envious about the Snidgets.
It has all been a pleasure, Poppy. Do try and stay out of trouble.
Don't know that I can. We've taken on poachers twice now, successfully. I rather think you've helped me develop a taste for it. And with Centaurs as allies, I might actually go looking for trouble. You and I should meet for a butterbeer soon. Perhaps Highwing can join us?
PlayStation